Hey, good morning. So today we're going to be putting E-Track on the lower rail of my stake bed here. You may be asking yourself, why do you have a stake bed and why do you have a gooseneck trailer and what exactly do you do? Well, I'm glad you asked. I own a company called Preferred Expediting. Down in the States, they're called Hot Shots. So I am an owner operator. I go around the state picking up cargo and dropping it off, LTLs, less than truckload. So the semis you see going up and down the highway, that's a truckload. And if somebody has something they need shipped, but it's less than a full truckload, they sometimes have a hard time getting bigger companies to haul it. So the hot shots come in and we can pick it up and zip, 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 get it done. So this summer is a very busy time for folks like me because summertime in Alaska is the construction season, it's the tourist season, it's when a lot of stuff happens. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to get all my stuff done. This is what I call pre-season, trying to get all the stuff done before the season hits. The next few videos we do, I'm going to be putting a whole lot of stuff on the truck. One, I'm going to be repainting the bed. I'm going to use that roll-on bed liner like Rhino Liner. I'm going to do that. I've got a amber warning light that's going to go up on top. I've got a horn. I've got ditch lights or moose lights that I'm going to put on. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos about, the truck. And the next couple of videos, I think Tuesday, we're going to do one on the toolbox that we're going to mount. And then later next week, I'm going to do one on the chain rack. And then the D-rings along the trailer. And then the trailer will be done. And then my focus will be on the truck. And then once it's completely done, hopefully season will be starting. And you guys will be able to see me doing videos all over Alaska, showing you the beauty of Alaska summertime, wildlife, wildfires, just the beauty that is Alaska. Again, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. If you have a question or there's something you want to know about Alaska specifically, go ahead and email me at alaskadad24@gmail.com. Let's get into it. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering, what is E-Track? So this is E-Track. E-Track is a pretty cool invention. It attaches to walls, floors, side rails like this. And what it's designed to do is you can buy ratchet straps or friction straps or a whole bunch of accessories to go with these E-Track. What they do, they lock into these holes so you can move your straps, wherever you want to accommodate whatever load you have. They're different than a typical ratchet strap because ratchet straps have a hook on them and you're kind of limited to where you can grab onto stuff. So as an example, if you have a ratchet strap with a hook on it, you can't hook it to a flat surface. There's nothing to hook to. So you put this E-Track in, and the E-Track, like I said, can go anywhere. You can put it on the deck, you can put it on the wall, you can put it on a gate. A lot of people put them in their garages on the walls, and they sell accessories that you can hook stuff into these, like hooks and shelf brackets and so on. I'm on my side rails because sometimes I gotta haul some volatile stuff, bottles of oxygen, uh, cans of gas, stuff like that. I need to kind of be able to secure the load a little bit more gingerly than I would by just throwing a chain or a heavy duty ratchet strap around it. I've got these E-straps in here, or E-tracks in here, so I have small, soft E-straps so it doesn't damage the cargo. Also, I have a cargo net that has E-track locks on it, so I can put my cargo in the back of the truck and then put the cargo net over it, lock them in, and we're good to go. And when the cargo net comes in next week, I'll show you how that works. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take a 5-foot section of this and I'm going to screw it down this bottom rail. Then we're going to paint it. Then we're going to repeat the process for the other side. Something like that? Let's get it. What we need for our project today is we're going to need our cutting wheel. Hey, it happens. Oh, they have a grinder wheel on there. Anyway, we're gonna need our cutting wheel, our tape measure. We need to measure 5 feet of this rail here. Give me 2 seconds while I do the swap-a-roo. Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry for the wind. Our warm weather's coming in. It's blowing in from the south. So you see we have clear blue skies, but we have wind. So it might be a little bit hard to hear sometimes. I'll do the best that I can. All right, and our tape. Holy crap. Somebody called Popo. Our tape is gone. Okay, well, I gotta go find our tape. All right, so my handy little pocket tape that you've seen me use is gone. So now I gotta use the big one. Anyway, here we go. So 5 feet. You might ask me, well, Joe, how do you know 5 feet is gonna be half? Well, so there's a highly complex calculation that I did to figure out where halfway point on this track is. So I took the overall length, 10 feet, and cut it in half. I know. I'm too much. Right. There, after that, we should probably do this in such a manner that it's not going to fall off of here, and no matter what I do, it's just going to be a pain. So we'll just do it. It's always nice having chunks of laying around. All right. When you're using a grinder or a cutting wheel, always wear your gloves. Always wear your gloves. It's kind of preferred you wear long sleeves too. And you might be like, well, geez, Joe, you're just a truck driver. How do you know? Well, I wasn't always a truck driver. In my former life, I was emergency services for better than 30 years, I guess. Almost 30 years combined. I've seen some stuff. Gloves, eye protection, long sleeves. Here we go. Okay. That's how we do that. Step number 2 is slide this up right about here. Go as center on this 2x6 as we can. Here we go. Now we need to get our screws and screw gun, and yeah, that's what we need to do. Stand by. Okay, so I got my impact driver, screws, and such. Now, I'm using drywall screws, and I'll be using a butt-ton load of them. But I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of tension on these rails here. This is just a backup system. Like I said, it's going to hold tarps, hold tarps down. I actually do have a they call it a board holder or a board lock. It's going to go in here that you can set a 2x4 in, so you can separate bed in half. So I'll put a bunch of cargo up front, and I'll drop a 2x4 in, up against it just to keep it from sliding back and forth because my deck is steel. Yeah. Yep. How do you open it? Right there. I need this. Now, we're going to go every other hole because that's a lot of freaking screws if I go every single hole. Yeah. Chia. Right, chia. Okay, we got that done. So now we got to paint it. So let's do that. Now I'm just going to put a quick coat of black spray paint on it. When the weather gets better, it warms up a little bit, and I'm able to wash the bed of the truck and get it kind of clean. I'm also going to wire wheel a lot of the rust spots or where the paint is coming off on this bed, and I'm going to repaint it. So when I do that, I'll repaint all my gates as well at the same time. But for now, just to make it look, black and not gray, I'm just going to shoot a quick coat of paint on it just to, one, protect it, and two, not make it look like an oddball. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just using Rust-Oleum Professional High Performance Enamel black paint. I don't see any reason to go, all out and pay really high dollar for really expensive paint and primer and all that stuff when this is a work truck and these are work gates, and they're going to get dinged, they're going to get scratched, and I can just touch it up with decent paint. I mean, not really expensive paint, but not cheap paint. Kind of in the middle. So here we go. that's done. Now I'm going to set this off to the side somewhere so it'll dry. And we'll pull the other gate down and do it. Yeah, I couldn't have built it out of light wood. Oh no. I had to build it out of heavy wood. So something that my dad kind of instilled in me when I was a young man. Over engineering. Yeah. If you build something and you think it's probably good enough, it probably isn't good enough. So build it a little bit better. I have this epic fear of falling apart on me right when it doesn't need to be falling apart on me. And the entire world standing there watching it happen. You know, everybody's snickering. That guy can't build crap. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. So I have a habit of over engineering everything. But I tell you what, nothing has ever fallen apart on me. Knock on wood. Okay, so as you can see, I got the rails in there on the bottom. There's a rail on top, rail on the bottom, rail on top. Now these gates are only 2 feet tall. The truck is not designed to haul a whole bunch of cargo in the back. The truck is designed to pull a gooseneck. But when I'm not pulling a gooseneck, I'd like the ability to, you know, haul a little bit of something. So that's why I built the sides. That's why I built the gates. And then this gate here goes in the back. It locks into these pockets here. And is latched with these latches on the corner of my chair. Very cool, huh? That's what I thought. Yesterday, when I was having some technical issues with my camera, I gave up and I came out and built this box. So I built this out of angle iron. And this box holds chain. Now, remember what I was talking to you the other day, one of the other videos, about the chain rack that's coming for this, and I'm going to mount it up there underneath the neck of the gooseneck. These chains will hang on that chain rack, and they lock into it so people can't steal your chains. But these are 20-foot chains, and even if I hook both ends, then I still got 10 feet of chain hanging on the ground. So I built this box. Chains will hook up in the chain rack, and the tails will lay in this box. I built the frame out of steel, obviously. I built the box itself out of wood, you know, out of thin plywood, 1/8-inch plywood. And the reason I did that is because this is, again, going to get used and abused. It will get broken. 3/8 chain is not light, you know, so it will get broken, and I'm able to replace the sides easier if I just use wooden sides as opposed to welding stuff together. Now, you might ask yourself, well, if you only use an 1/8" plywood and you've got 3/8" chain, how's it going to keep from breaking out the bottom? I'm glad you asked. So I reinforce the bottom with steel. So most of the weight is actually being held by steel. Now, there's one thing I've got to do to this box still. I got to drill a bunch of holes in the bottom of it. And you'd be like, why would you do that? Well, when Mother Nature decides it's time to pour rain, this is a bucket, and this is going to fill full of water. And unless the water has some place to go, then it's just going to saturate the wood, soak the chain, and all this blah blah. So drill holes in the bottom, water can run out, and it doesn't turn into a little swimming pool. Cool? Cool. Hey folks, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, or you have a specific question about Alaska that you want me to address, go ahead and email me at alaskadad24@gmail.com, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Okay? See you next time. Hey again folks, you know, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, or if there's something specific about Alaska that you want to know, go ahead and email me at alaskadad24@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you again. See.